Alright guys, this is a Longplay review for Ant Attack on the Amstrad CPC, believe it or not. And it's actually an emulated version of the Specturm Classic, done by a guy called 40 Crisis, and released last month in February. And just very quickly, Ant Attack was an absolutely classic game, released in 1983. Written by Sandy White and Angela Sutherland, released on the Quicksilver label, and it's the first example of a survival horror game based in the city of Antesha, which you can see the map for here, and one of the very first 3D games as well. And yes, this was an absolute classic at the time, and still is really. It don't look much now, but in 1983 this was absolutely mind-blowing. And what we're doing here is loading basically the ZX Spectrum game on an Amstrad in an emulator on the Amstrad for the Spectrum. More on that in a minute. Let's have a quick look at the game and I'll go through the stuff in a minute. You could choose to be a girl or boy as well, so yeah, no sexism in this game. Welcome to Ant Attack. After a long journey you see your destination, the high-walled city of Antesha. As you stand at the gate, you hear a call of distress, irresistible to a hero like you. You must answer it. Good luck. And basically, we've got to enter the city, find the girl, rescue her, and get her out of the city. And there she is. Very easy on level 1. My hero, take me away from all this. And she should follow you and get through the one exit here. Although there are other ways to exit the city, which you'll see later. Congratulations. So very simple introduction there to the game. And there's 10 levels in total. And 10 people to save in the city. They're all in different locations. So there we go. What we're doing now is following the scanner. If we're going in the right direction, the scanner turns green. And there she is. Quite simple stuff. One thing to mention is the controls are rather awkward, and there's one key just to move forward, which is the V key, and then the C key to jump up, and if you press C and V together you do like a run and jump. And then you've got two keys to rotate left and right, which is the M key and the comma key, which will be next to each other on the keyboard. You also have some ammo there, if you notice, in the bottom left corner. You can throw grenades, and you can throw a short distance, medium distance, long distance, or a very long distance, using the S, D, F and G keys. And you can also rotate the angle of the plane area. This is very awkwardly laid out, with using the space key, the 0 key, the return key and the P key for different viewing angles. And there she is up there. Next to your ammo, you've got boy and girl listed there with number 20. That is your energy level. The girl can also get attacked by ants if you leave her on her own. There's me trying to throw a grenade to kill that ant. Well, we're gonna... I got bitten by the ant. We lose some energy. The girl got bitten as well. And if you run off too far, she stays where she is, confused and lost. Ah yes, we killed an ant there. And a couple more ants with your grenades. Don't worry, your ammo and health gets replenished at the start of the next level. And this is another way to escape. Go to the city wall with like a place where it's 2 blocks high, and when you get an ant, you can like jump, and you can jump off the back of the ant over the city wall. That's another way to escape. Just be very careful, sometimes the girl doesn't follow you over the wall, only occasionally. Yes, so I don't know what you're thinking at the moment. Maybe this is the first time you've ever seen Ant Attack in action. Maybe you're aware of it already. If you're already aware of it and seen the Spectrum version, this plays identical to it, and there's no slowdown. Tricky place to find the girl. I think you can just see her there on the ledge just above us. So the game starts getting a little bit sneaky. and you do need to rotate the viewing angle, which I'll do here. There we go. There's a little small entrance there which we'll sneak through. Obviously the graphics are monochrome, black and white, and a little bit hard to make out at times. But that's the ZX Spectrum for you. But yes, if you've never seen this before, God knows what you're thinking. You know, you may be thinking this looks really crap or something. But as I was saying, guys, earlier, at the time, this was a real classic game, and mind-blowing. In an age of just like basically Space Invader and Pac-Man clones and stuff like this, sorry. This game came along, truly original. And plays brilliantly. It was just simple, good fun, inventive, and you can arguably you can say it kick-started the whole survival horror genre years ago. Okay, this is level 5. What I'll just talk about very quickly is how this has been achieved. Someone's written a ZX Spectrum emulator on the Amstrad CPC. I'm not quite sure who's done it. I think it might be 40 Crisis. And essentially how this works is you run the emulator first. You have the basically the image of the Spectrum game, which probably is a TZX image or something like that, which also loads up, which also loads a sort of patch program to convert basically the I don't know, the memory layout and the graphics layout into sort of the Amstrad CPC's brain, so it can interpret it. And there probably wouldn't have to be. There would have to be a patch written for every game. So I don't think you can just basically get the emulator, get the TZX Spectrum game image on your Amstrad, and it will all work perfectly. No, I don't think that's the case at all. But it does mean that perhaps in the future we might be able to emulate some really great Spectrum games on the Amstrad. I know a guy called Arnold Emu who did the Arnold emulator. And that's his name on the CPC Wiki forums. He's already attempted Attic Attack. But obviously, with emulating games and stuff, you need to probably check if you've got the copyright holder's permission to basically release this. And I believe Sandy White has the program of the Spectrum original, and Cliff Lawson of Amstrad. He's already given permission that people can use the Amstrad ROMs. So I think we're in the clear here on this one. I don't think we're going to upset anyone. Certainly this game's not going to make any more money. And with a number of keys involved, I don't know how you would convert it to like the iOS or Android for like smartphones without a lot of problems. The games on there bad enough for the controls. So yeah, this is I think we're legally okay to do this. And someone's put together one disk image that does all the work for us of loading the emulator, the Spectrum game, and the patch code at once. I think there was 40 Crisis that did that as well. So very, very awesome stuff. There's already a conversion of Death Chase 3D, the other Spectrum classic from the era, done by Executioner, I think, who did the WinApe emulator, which I always use to do these games. I may try to do a Longplay of that actually soon. That was released a few years ago now, but that wasn't emulated, I don't think, in the way this was. Oh, the girl sometimes gets a little bit stuck and confused and lost there, bless her. Sexist, but this game isn't. So yeah, hopefully a few more Spectrum classics would be converted to the Amstrad via this method. Perhaps some of the more older games, which take up the less amount of space and memory usage. Those with more sort of simple programming techniques. But I'd really like to see Zombie released, the sort of point-and-click adventure. The Amstrad version was the original one, but many years later the Spectrum one was released, and it was actually much better. That's one of my favourite games. Actually, funny enough, there is a sequel to Ant Attack called Zombie Zombie, which plays very, very similar. Maybe that could be done next as well. And of course, if emulated the Spectrum, we emulate the awful sort of sound effects and music. That would have been the buzzer. But of course, guys, oh, there's the girl there on the top of there. Of course, guys, there's no sort of improvements made to the game. This is actually as the Spectrum game plays. No tweaks to make it look better, sound better on the Amstrad, which is fair enough. Someone actually wants to remake the game, go for it. Obviously, it would have to be done from scratch. Just trying to work out here how to get up and rescue her. I think I'm actually still on the back of an ant there. Ah! But yeah, this is great stuff. Again, guys, appreciate this game was released in 1983, very early days, and is considered one of the best games ever on the Spectrum. Most likely to be in everyone's top 20 Spectrum games of all time. A little annoying with the grenades sometimes. Seems to sometimes kill ants that are further away, but yet sometimes you drop a grenade right on their head and they don't die. God, awful buzzer music, hate it. But it has its own like charm, I suppose. Right, on to level 8. Less than 2 more levels to go. I do wonder sometimes if the keys are as responsive. Sometimes I find myself going in circles accidentally. Yeah, you've got to be careful throwing grenades sometimes as well. You could end up killing yourself and blowing yourself up. The maze gets quite confusing at times. Maybe a good idea, excuse me, maybe a good idea in your emulator of choice to remap the keys to something more pleasing. For example, especially the rotation of the screen, which is an awful layout. As I mentioned previously, in the description I will list the keys for you, and obviously a link to go and download the game. It's a bit difficult, but you can just run across here. This gets a little bit tricky. Sometimes a little hard to tell which way your character's facing, but with enough practice and getting used to it. There we go, he's facing down on the left, so we need to rotate him right once. And you can just run down on these. There we go. Just being very cautious there, because I don't want to screw it up. I've got this far without dying yet. I think if you do die, you get one more chance on the level in question. Paralysed an ant. How did that happen? Again, with grenades, I don't seem to kill them if they land really close to them, but at a distance they do. Right, tricky now. We're going to get stuck in these blocks with loads of ants around us. Ah, cool. Ah, but the girl's standing still. Come on, follow me, follow me. Should be a bit here where we can actually, there's a bit we can actually climb out over the wall. There's a couple of little bits like that dotted about. I think I had problems here, the girl following me up there. Oh, she's fallen down, silly cow. Oh, the girl got bitten. Come on, follow me back. Come on, there you go. Right, come on. Let's see if she'll jump up this time. Oh, oh, she's done it this. Oh, oh, that's me. She's knocked off. Oh, for God's sakes! No, I'm getting bitten. Maybe I've just moved forward one block. Ah, she's finally followed me. Right. Take one step at a time there. Yeah, so on to the second to last level. There is sort of an ending screen. Congratulations and thing that appears. You will see shortly. So I suppose I need to give this a review score. It's an interesting one to review because are we reviewing the original game or the work of the guy getting emulated on the Amstrad? I mean, it's as perfect as the Specturm original. I think maybe some slightly different colours used on the status bar at the bottom there, maybe. Other than that, one of any of you Specturm fans out there watching this can spot any differences? But I suppose I'll just give it an overall score. An absolute classic. Still plays well. A little bit awkward. Maybe has aged a little bit. But given its classic status and what it kick-started, erring between an 8.5 and a 9 out of 10. 8 3/4 out of 10. That'll do. Okay, tricky little section here. We've got to navigate this sort of S shape here. So just take your time. I'm just rotating the screen there, obviously. You do have plenty of time. Obviously, the more time you take, the less score you get. Suppose at the time you would have competed against your friends for the best overall score. Cool. Yeah, if you fall too far, you get knocked out. I noticed that one of the ants was stunned there. Depending on their distance. Oh yeah, there's a stunned ant. The ant sort of slightly further away will get stunned, whereas the others will just get blown up. Uh-oh, come on, follow me. Ooh, that was lucky. Sometimes you just get stuck. Right, and this will be the yes, the final level. I think there was like I think there's been another game released like this as well from 40 Crisis, emulated and patched and released as well disc. I think Maziacs. I've not heard of that game before, and I've not tried it yet. Forgot to mention that. Oh, this is a tricky section. I'm going to have to use the jumping on the back of an ant method here. Let them bite you. You sort of jump on their back. There he goes. But yes, Maziacs, another one released. Hopefully there'll be more. Actually, I'd love to see Action Force 2 patched. That was one of my favourite games on the Spectrum. If you haven't seen that before, go and check it out on YouTube. It's not a very well-known game. The original Action Force was rubbish, of course, but Action Force 2. Hint, hint. 40 Crisis, do that for me. Anyway. Okay, again, take it easy. I think you just run across here. You don't need to run and jump. I find that doesn't always work. Keep running, keep running, keep running. Stop. There we go. Take it easy. I think as the levels get harder, I think there may be a few more ants that appear. Do they get more aggressive? I don't know. Certainly the person you're rescuing ends up in a lot more awkward place to get to. Paralysed an ant and jumped on it, fell on him. Oh no, the girl's not following. Come on. Oh, she's getting bitten. Oh, I got stuck. Yeah, how you end up dying is usually sort of getting stuck in a little corner or between a couple of blocks, and you don't know which way you're facing. You're just getting bitten and bitten and bitten and bitten, which is a little frustrating. Other than that, we're going to escape nicely through the usual place, in the recommended exit, and that is Ant Attack completed. Cool. You are a real hero. At last your mission is over. Your new friends wish to thank you for saving their lives. What on earth that is? Oh, it's a drawing of a gold medal. And you'll see that confirmed in a second. That's the ending sequence, basically. Oh. Please accept this solid gold medal. Total score 42,766. Don't know if that's any good or not. And we saved 10 people. And start all over again, and this time plays the girl rescuing the boy. There we go. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Definitely go and download this and give this a try out. It certainly plays better than probably watching it. So cheers, guys. See you soon. Goodbye.